Okay, excuse my mess on the bench, but I have finished my foam wire cutter. I used a 9-volt wall wart. I did a disconnecting type, just silly little 12-volt blade plugs, just in case I want to step up to a 12-volt instead of a 9-volt, or maybe even a 14-volt to melt a little quicker. What I did a little different was my button is an interrupter button. It's basically the foam cutter will always be on unless I interrupt it. I did that just in case I want to use 2 hands or didn't want to fool with touching a button. It's always on. I can go down the model with it, you know, without having to hold this button the entire time. And then when I'm done, I can press the button. Yeah, and that way if I touch something, it won't melt it. So I'll go ahead and plug this in. So right now I'm holding the button. As you can see, nothing's happening. Now if I let go of the button, it heats up pretty decent and starts cutting right through it, nice and slick like. It's like, yeah, that'll work. That'll work out real good. Do shapes with it. It goes nice and smooth, see? Look at that. Okay, I'll hold the button in now. As you can see, it does nothing. So I'll let go of the button. And it goes pretty decent. Couple more here. I haven't noticed it's got more heat in one spot than another. So I think I might step this up to the 12-volt instead of the 9-volt. But it definitely, as long as you take your time, don't try to rush it, get some nice clean there you have it. Thanks for watching. The other thing about this was I made this based on a YouTuber called Sean Beardon. I think he posted one similar about a year ago. I think it was about a year ago. And I'm not sure what size power pack he used. And this is basically his design. So I did not come up with this. Except he used a power on button where you had to press the button to get it to power. And I'm using a power interrupter button where you got to press it to shut it off. And he used the actual plug that was on the end of the wall wart, where I did these where I can just interchange, because I have different size plugs on a lot of my wall warts I have in a box. So I'll just put these little 12-volt blade plugs, and I can interchange from whatever voltage I want to use, 9 volt, 12 volt, 14. I guess I'm just going to wait and see what size thickness of foams I'll be cutting, what density of foams I'll be cutting, to see if I need different voltages. But once again, this was Sean Beardon's design. One thing I forgot to mention is I didn't use NICAM wire. It's kind of like an electrical wire you'll find in toasters, heating element type things. You know, it's kind of made for this specific type of thing. But researching, a lot of people are just using one strand of wire out of like a bicycle cable. I got this off of an old rototiller, garden tiller, and I just took one strand out of that and basically put it in a drill with a pair of pliers and turned the drill on, and it straightened it out pretty decently. Took all the little kinks and bends out of it. So you can see where it's still a little twisted on there, but that's the cable I'm using. I've heard people use guitar strings. But yeah, normally you'd use a NICAM wire specifically for electrical resistance for heating. But this brake cable or clutch cable, whatever you want to call it, off of lawnmowers or bicycles or rototillers or go-karts, one strand will do just fine. As long as it's not glowing red, it probably won't burn in two real easy. I mean, you're just trying to melt through foam. And the parts, I had a lot of these parts, PVC pipe laying around. I had to go out and buy an end cap and this T. And I did buy a packet of these plugs, Radio Shack. So all told, I have only $5 in this. Like I said, I got a box full of these from old things you throw away. I just keep these. You never know when you're going to need them. So $5 is all I have into this. So it's pretty cheap versus the 30 or 40 that you'll spend buying a professional one. And for as much as you're going to use it, it's going to be fine.